running my mind. Oh no, it's been a long time. Oh, I've been searching for a long time. Glad that I found you at the right time. Oh, you're running my mind. I can't lose this loving, this loving, this loving. Don't wanna lose this loving, this loving, this loving. I can't lose this loving, this loving, this loving. Don't wanna lose this loving, this loving, this loving. I see what I've been missing. Been through many seasons, but I never found the person.
Hello, welcome to Conjugal Bliss. I am Priscilla Ashonibare. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to be continuing our discussion on the topic, love is not enough. Love is not enough. Last week when we were here, we spoke about the fact that love is an emotion, and because it is an emotion, it is always in motion. And you can't base, solely build the foundation of your marriage on love, because there'll be situations and circumstances that would bring pressure on that feeling. And if the foundation of your marriage is just only built on love, then you might end up thinking, oh, this is the right time for me to quit this marriage because I can't feel the love anymore. So let's continue our discussion about the topic, love is not enough, today. Yes, love will help you to choose the person that you want to get married to. It is one of the things that will help you to say, okay, among all the women around, among all the men around, this is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. But we said that beyond that, commitment is what will help you to make the marriage work. What many people do not know is that when you go into the relationship because of love, in order for you to be able to stay in the marriage, you have to work it out. You have to be intentional about it. You have to make up your mind that this marriage must work. Love without effort would soon fade. Love without effort would soon fade. So there's this aspect of love, the feeling, and there's the other aspect of love, which is the commitment to the marriage. So you need the feeling and you need the commitment in order for the marriage to work. Love is just like a flower garden that you have. In order for it to continue to blossom, you have to do what? You have to tend it. You have to weed around it. You have to irrigate it when it is dry season. You have to make sure that you apply manure and so many things that you have to do in order for that flower garden to be beautiful. For your marriage to work in the same way, you have to be intentional about making it to work. You have to make up your mind that this marriage is going to be a successful and a happy one. Yes, you are in love, but have you studied the person that you are in love with? I'm talking to those who are here to get married now. Those who are married, we are going to be talking about how can you know if love is not enough already in your marriage and what to do. But let's talk to the young ones now, those who are single, the bachelors, the unmarried right now. Yes, you are in love, but have you studied the person that you say you are in love with? Are you compatible? Are you compatible? Do you think that you can stay with this person for the rest of your life? Don't just say because of the feeling. You have to do what? Start gathering information through observation about the person. There's the need for you to bring in critical thinking. Critical thinking. Yes, follow your heart, but don't leave your head behind. Follow your heart, but don't leave your head behind. Don't gamble your life away and say, if it works, fine. If it doesn't work, fine. No, don't go into the marriage with that kind of a mentality, with that kind of a mindset. Know what you are getting into and get into it with your mind, with your head, with reasons. Why don't somebody would not say, okay, should I just list it down as if I'm trying to do a research or something? Yeah, Don't go into marriage all based on emotion, because emotion will always be in motion and it can change. You must have the necessary balance between the feeling and the logic, between the sensual and the reason. Marriage is beyond what you think. Marriage is a transaction. It is a communicative action or activities involving two people. And it has a reciprocative effect or influence on the partners. So whatever this person is bringing into the marriage will affect the other. Whatever the husband is bringing to the marriage will affect the wife, and whatever the wife is bringing into the marriage will affect the husband. So you ask yourself, is this the kind of person I want to spend the rest of my life with? It is a necessary exchange. Marriage is an exchange. Marriage is an exchange, and no good businessman or woman would go into a business without making the necessary findings. I remember recently somebody was telling me about a man that had been a civil servant all his life, and when he now was retired, he got all his gratuity and all that. He got them, rented the shop, bought goods, stocked up the shop, and just went into business like that. Before you knew it, he went bankrupt. Because number one, he never asked anyone who had been in that line of business, how do you do it? He never had anyone who is in line of business to mentor him. He never knew how to go about, sourcing for the right commodities to sell and things like that. What of the customer relation, how to relate with his customers, how to convince people to buy from him. These are some of the things that a good business person would take into consideration before going into a business. They would look at the place they want to set up the business. That kind of a business person would look at the commodity he or she wants to sell. As a matter of fact, they will not even just go into business like that. Some will understudy somebody who is already successful in that business for 3, 4, 5, even some understudy for up to 10 years before they start their own. And by the time they go into this line of business, they already have what it takes to make it a success. They already know the challenges that will come across their way. They already know how to be able to defeat the rival. They already know what to do. They already know when to go into price war with their rival, with their competitors. Businessmen who are successful, they do all these findings before they now invest their money to even start the business. But it's so unfortunate that many young people now would just say, okay, I'm in love, and they'll go, they never do any kind of investigation. They just go into it. Marriage is more than that. Yes, you love the person. I want to spend the rest of your life with the person, but do you know the person? Do you know his parents, her parents, what they do? What kind of a marriage do they have? Where is his hometown or her hometown? Where did she grow up? These are some of the questions that you should sit down and ask. Where did he or she school? Which course did he study? Which course did she study? Has she worked in a place before? If she did, okay, why is she not there anymore, or she has a new job? Okay, now ask the previous jobs that he had, the previous jobs that she had. Did she just leave because she had a good offer, or she quit the job, or was laid off or sacked? Those are some of the background checks that you have to make in order for you to know the kind of person you want to get into relationship with. If he's somebody that is in the habit of quitting, maybe started a course in the university, quitted, you ask why. It was a little bit difficult, so I went for this other course. Okay. Then you now discover that after the person now graduated, started to work, maybe had quitted like 2, 3 other jobs because this person didn't like me and because it was too far from my house, and giving all kinds of excuse just to quit, then you should know that that person is not somebody that you should contemplate going into a lifelong relationship with, because the person is somebody that would easily quit. So it can happen that he would just wake up one day and say, I want to quit the marriage as well. He's not somebody that wants to do what? To stay and work out something. It's somebody that likes a life of pleasure. So these are some of the things you have to put into consideration before you go into marriage, before you say I do, before you walk that aisle. You have to get answers to so many questions. Some you can ask the person directly. Some you will have to go and ask people who know the person, maybe the colleague, maybe the classmate. You can even do a background check. We are in the social media days now. You can go to the person's social media account and check from 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, what kind of a person was this person I want to get married to. Check the post. What kind of a post is this person, putting on his or her page? That will help you to know the kind of person that person is. Ask people to help you. Ask people to help you. You may be thinking, is this not too much questions? I think it is better to be safe than to be sorry. It is better to be what? To be safe than to be sorry. Many couples who are having problems with their marriages now and many whose marriage is about to hit the rock is because they didn't take time, the opportunity to do all these things that I'm telling you to do. You have to try and see what kind of a circle of friends is this person keeping. Check out his friends. Check out her circle of friends, because somehow, the friends will have influence on the kind of person that person is, must have had influence, as a matter of fact. They said, birds of the same feather, they flock together. So if you discover that the circle of friends is not somebody, is not the kind of friends that you think a person that you want to get married to should have, then I think it is time you step on the brake and try to ask yourself again, is this the kind of person I want to spend the rest of my life with? Am I going to be okay? That is why the time of courtship is very important. Don't just fly over the time of courtship. I thank God for the Redeemed Christian Church of God. Now, at least when you start the counseling, they said at least 6 months. 6 months of counseling to be able to give you time to observe, to be able to give you time to reassess, to be able to give you time to come to a logical conclusion if this is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. There was a time when someone wanted to get married to one of the sisters in our church, and my husband and I, what we did was we asked, because she was a lady who was already matured. She was in her 30s, had a good job, a medical doctor, and for some time no one was coming. Then later she would now come crying, will tell us, somebody wants to marry me, somebody wants to, and I would say, who's this person? This person is a Christian. Once she's quiet, we'll tell her, come. That person is not a Christian, is not a child of God. You can't go ahead. Anyway, to fast forward, then one day she came very happy. Oh, thank God, this young man came, he wants to marry me, and all that. We now told her, okay, now just wait. Let us help you with some investigations. We told her to be doing her own. And we sent one of our pastors he traveled for hours to the hometown where this man grew up to research from their next door neighbor, what kind of a man is this person? And to God be the glory, the result of the investigation was positive, and we told her, okay, you can go ahead. And we are grateful to God that she was patient. She didn't say, I'm already in my 30s, I don't want to become an old lady, I don't want to be old and gray without a husband. You told me I should wait for a Christian, now a Christian is here, why do you want to stop me? There's no need for any investigation, which is what some of the things some of the young people would do now. She was patient enough. She said, no problem, I'll wait for the result of the investigation. And thank God the result of the investigation was positive. So we told her, okay, you can go ahead. And to the glory of God, they happily married, have 2 children, doing very, very well. So this groundwork is very important. It's very important so that even if you're going to have some surprises, yes, people change along the, it won't be a major kind of surprise that would put you off in the relationship, that would threaten the success, the existence of your marriage. Okay, now even Solomon, the wisest man, the Bible told us that despite the fact that he was the wisest, if you go to the book of Ecclesiastes, you will see that he will say, I observed. He will say, I studied. Yeah, Solomon, despite being the wisest, he will say that, like here in Ecclesiastes 1:13, he said that he devoted himself to search for understanding and to explore by wisdom everything being done under the heaven. He observed, he studied, he searched. In the same way, if you want to have a happy home in the future, now that a man is coming and proposing to you, now that you've seen a girl that you think, oh, okay, maybe that will be my wife, go ahead and do what? Observe. Observe her. Study her. Search for information about him or her. Ask people around to help you. You can ask a church member that you trust. You can even ask your sister, your brother to help you do the background check about the person. It is better to be safe than sorry. Now let's try to ask let me give you some of the questions that you might try to get answers to in order for you to be able to study this person that you want to get married to, because love is not enough. Love is not enough. You can ask that, okay, how did the person you want to spend the rest of your life with react or respond when you share your emotions with him or her? And when there are some situations that would trip the person off, how did that person react? Ask yourself, can that person control his temper, her temper? Because now, most times we hear, okay, domestic violence, and we say it is the man that is, abusing the wife. Hello, there are even some women abusing their husbands now. So it is not just only left to men or left to women. You still have to do what? To get answers to these questions. Another one is, have you attended social gatherings together? Okay, when you attended that social gathering, how did he respond to people? How did he relate with people? Was he a snob? Is she a snob? Is she proud? Is he full of himself? And when you draw the attention of this person and say, no, the way you spoke with this person in that gathering was not too nice. How did he react to you trying to correct him or her? These are very important. Okay, another area that you have to check is, what of his self-esteem? What of her self-esteem? Is it high self-esteem, which is pride, or is it low self-esteem? Is he or she a yes person? That when anybody says sit down, yes, stand up, yes, either somebody that's the authority or anything does not have a mind of his own, she doesn't have a mind of her own, is easily swayed by people to do things, to change, even when the person said, this is what I want to do, once any other person comes and say, okay, let's do it this way, without asking any question, just say, okay, just follow. Because one day somebody will just come and tell the person something and that person would do it in the marriage. I remember this pathetic story, this young couple were doing very well in the marriage. The husband was doing well financially and the wife had a good job. And at a very young age, they were able to build their own house. And unfortunately, the neighborhood wasn't somewhere where, too welcoming. But they pretended at the beginning, not knowing that these neighbors were jealous of them. That imagine these young people So somebody came and told the wife, you better do something with the way your husband is making it financially. If you don't do something to make sure you secure your home, you might end up having another wife and things like that. She never knew that that neighbor had already connived with the prayer person, quote unquote. I will not say man of God. So they were now conniving together to cheat the woman of a lot of money. They duped her a lot of money. And unfortunately, before she knew what was happening, she was almost losing her mind. But thank God, God intervened. Now, if the husband had known that my wife is the kind that can be easily persuaded by people to do things, maybe he would have put some measures, on ground to prevent her from these neighbors having access to her. So this investigation we're talking about is for you to be able to put some things in place to prevent any untold situations and circumstances in the future. Okay, another question you should ask is, to what extent was this person that you want to get married to able to engage with people in the gathering? That will help you know if he's an extrovert, if he's an introvert. Now, another most important question that you need to ask, or let me say the most important gathering that you need to take note of the person you want to get married to observe. Now, when you are in this place, you have to make sure that you really, really give complete attention to whatever is happening. And that is in his or her family. When you get to go with him or her to visit his parents, check very well, how is she relating with her parents? How is she relating with her siblings? Because the way he or she, that person that you want to get married to, is relating with his parents will be the way he will also relate with your parents, all things being equal. The way he's relating with his siblings will be transferred to how he or she will relate with your siblings. Many couples get married without even seeing the parents of the one they want to get married to until when they're about to do the engagement. Also, that is wrong. You should be able to see the person you want to get married to in the context of his family, in the context of her family, to see the dynamics of the family that he grew up in, the dynamics of the family that she grew up in. That will give you a lot of information of how he or she would behave in your own home. The place where, like father, like son, like mother, like daughter, is more realistic is in the family than in any other place. So before you say I do, look for opportunity, not once, not twice, several opportunities to see your spouse to be relate with his family, relate with his parents, relate with his siblings, because there would definitely be a reoccurrence of that in your marriage. If the person respects his own family, definitely he will also do what? Respect the people in your family, especially his parents. If it's somebody who respects his parents, he will respect your family. And if you see that he's not respecting his own parents, don't expect him to now start respecting your own parents, even if he tries at the beginning. Before long, the true him would definitely come to play. And if she's the one that she's not respecting her parents, oh my goodness, don't expect her to respect your parents as well. But if he has warm and cordial relationship with his siblings, then you can say, okay, he might have a cordial and warm relationship with my own siblings. Remember, the family where he grew up is where he was shaped, is where he was molded, is where she had the model of what a family should be. So there would definitely be a replay of that kind of a family in your own family. Thank you so much for joining us. This topic will still continue to discuss about it next week, so make sure you join me. We are going to be discussing about the fact that love is not enough and what are you to do so that even when you can't find the love, there will still be other reasons why you'll be able to stay in the marriage. This is Conjugal Bliss. I am Priscilla Ashonibare. Thank you so much for joining us today. God bless you.